Hi guys, Trinity here. So, tonight's video, welcome by the way, especially if you're new to my channel. So, it's about tarot as always. Now, lately, I would say in the past year, I have been really expanding myself and purchasing new tarot decks that I'm seeing a lot of feedback on the spiritual community, on YouTube mostly. And I kept seeing this one particular tarot deck over and over again. And the box kept pulling me in because of the artwork on the box. And I kept kind of passing it up because it didn't look so Rider-Waite friendly to me, which meant more work. And I was kind of like, nah, I don't know. So recently I started seeing on YouTube videos where people were doing unboxings of their second edition of this deck, which is the Marielle Tarot. So people were getting the borderless edition, and I am a big fan of the borderless, big fan. Any deck, be it Oracle or Tarot, if it's borderless, I'm attracted to it. And I was seeing these walkthroughs or, showings of the second edition. And one of the images really grabbed me, and then some of the other ones started to. So, I wound up buying it, but I want to tell you a little bit of the backstory on how I wound up getting this deck. Because this was something that I kind of wanted for the last year, but was very uncertain about it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be my thing. So if you don't mind, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory on how I wound up getting this deck before I show you the cards, which I'm sure you have seen because there is a gazillion videos out there on the Marielle Tarot, and this is the first edition, by the way. So, where to begin? So, for the first year that I was on, this is like my second year on YouTube. I'm still very new, or I consider myself very new. The first year I was on YouTube, I would just do a video every couple months. I wasn't really active. And this year I became much more active and much more involved. And make a long story short, I kept coming across this deck or videos of this deck in tarot deck collection videos and things of that nature. So I really liked the artwork on the front of the box because I am very attached to lions and tigers. I even got them, I have a tattoo of a lion head and a tiger head, but anyway, doesn't matter. So I was really attracted to the lion, which also kind of looked like a griffin. I'm a big fan of mythology, and most of our tarot decks nowadays are based off of either fairy tales or mythology, some form of history and gods and goddesses, and it just intrigues me, all of it. So I had saw the box, got lured to it. I would start watching a walkthrough about the deck, and I'd lose interest because something about it just kind of made me back off. And I think a lot of people say this is a dark deck. I wouldn't call it a dark deck. That's just my opinion. What I felt when I looked at the cards online and the box is that it just wasn't, it's not that it wasn't my style, it just wasn't something that I felt like I would understand, which I'm sure a lot of people are intimidated by this deck, okay? So, I saw the couple walkthroughs of the newer borderless version, as I was saying, and I liked it. So I thought about getting that. I was almost ready to click the buy button, okay? Then something made me stop in one of the walkthroughs, and then I began to see it over and over in many more walkthroughs of the second edition, that there were some cards that were changed. So I said to myself, all right, let me think this through. Let me get the first edition, even though I don't like the black borders. And let me see if I connect with this deck. And, you know, I'm just going to let you know right now, if you decide to buy it, it's a $40 deck. At least in the USA it is. I'm not sure about anywhere else, but, you know, I had to think about it before I put the money out. I am an artist myself. In my downtime, my hobby, one of my hobbies was drawing and painting. I have paintings around inside my living room and bedroom and stuff that I painted myself. I don't sell them or anything, I just, whatever. So my point is, art, I'm attracted to art. And when I realized that this deck was painted by an artist, I was in. So when I went back and looked at the first edition, I saw the borders that I didn't like, but I also saw imagery that I did like that wasn't offered in the second edition. So with no further ado, the Marielle Tarot, and I love this box. Schiffer Publishing, everybody was right. They did a phenomenal job in packaging. Okay. You got these little ribbons. You got a nice size box for storage. You got your cards here. You got your nice thick guidebook here, which I intend to dive into tonight. Now, I opened this. I just received it today. So, Jen from Science to Soul Tarot, if you're watching this right now, this is for you too, because I said I'd do it. Okay. I'm not familiar with this deck yet. I just got it. I am going to do another walkthrough on this deck and my thoughts later. Okay? And the reason why is because when I open this deck, I don't know how to explain this other than when I took the plastic off it and I was holding it, it was almost like holding a crystal with like a big quartz crystal with lots of energy coming through it. First of all, I was in love with the gold gilded edges. Big fan. Black is one of my favorite colors. Big fan. Then we have Ouroboros. It's the snake that eats its own tail. Okay? Basically, it's about creating and destroying. Sorry if you can't see that. I remember seeing the backs of these cards when people would do a walkthrough or a deck collection video, and I was in love with the backs of these cards. I do not mind that these cards are big. They are a little on the oracle-ish, like big size, but I don't care. I do have other decks to compare it with, but I'm not pulling them out right now. I know that this deck was created in 2012. I know that you're like amateur to this deck. Most of you that are watching this video right now probably own this and are laughing at me and saying, ha 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 ha, that is the old ass edition. Where have you been? We all have that. I know you do. But I wanted to show you anyway and just I thought it would be fun. Now, I went through most of these cards, but I didn't go through all of them yet and connect with them yet. But I just wanted to show you that I got them, that I didn't think I was going to buy this deck until I found out that it was an artist that created it. And these were actual paintings. And that I was like, then I saw the images, and when I looked more at them, I was so happy to see what I saw. And this is a very special deck that I don't think I will ever part with, and I've had it for maybe an hour. So, and still, I plan on diving into that guidebook tonight, and I plan on feeling these cards and going through them and everything. But anyway, as I said, Ouroboros on the backs. Okay, I'm not going to talk about every single card, but I am going to show you a few because I really do recommend, like, if you appreciate art, and I don't know, I just can't explain it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I have never heard one bad review about this deck, by the way. Not one. I couldn't find one. And I tried. There was none. And once I held it in my hands, now I know why. Okay, so the Fool is your first card, and it's not your typical Fool card, and these were based on paintings. I know that the butterfly is a symbol of transformation, okay? And this looks like he's just like running forth. I love that he's like taking on the shape of the butterfly, almost like he's a shapeshifter, you know? Gives me that. I can't wait to look through the book and see what these meanings are. Okay. The Magician. The very first time I saw this card, I didn't like it. After that, I saw it, and when I really looked at it, I loved it. He's between two trees. That is a Metatron in his hands. Metatron cube or phoenix egg. Great skill. He wields great skill, right? This is a cool ass magician, guys. Just saying. Just saying. Alright. The High Priestess. This is one of the coolest depictions of the High Priestess I've ever seen, by the way. Just saying. And there's so much detail on this card, and I seen that this was one of the ones that they changed, I believe. I am probably still going to get the second edition, because I liked the borderless better. The only thing I did not like was that they changed her art. I want to see all her beautiful art and feel the power behind it. And I really don't want I don't want to be thinking about, well, they changed this card. It was, the original card was, but blah, blah. I'd rather just have both decks. So I'm going to order the other one soon, too. But I didn't want to do it too soon because I want to connect with this one. I want to concentrate on this one, the original, and, you know, like, I'll probably use them both, but, you know, I could decide which one. Maybe I'll use one for the public, one for myself. There are a lot of phallic symbols in it, but you know what? Most people that I read for, they don't complain about that kind of stuff. They're not there to pick things apart. Now, this card, there was a lot of controversy, we'll call it, on. There were people, this is the Hierophant card 5, okay? And there were people that say you either love this card or you hate this card. I think it is a very deep depiction of the Hierophant. It is about more than you could possibly comprehend when you look at the artist's work in this picture. Those babies, they're like, I didn't go through the book. I scanned real quick. But I know that these are the eyes of Horus. And I noticed when I first looked at the card that there was a key on her chest, which is like the key to everything, the key to knowledge. And when I scanned through the book, I saw that these two guys that kind of look like alien babies, or that's what people are calling them, are supposed to be representative of the abominations, which would be men, and the harlots, which would be women. So one's an abomination, one's a harlot, being men and women, and that's kind of what we've created on Earth. So they changed that card in the borderless deck. I noticed in the Lover's card, her hair looks like a giant horn. At first I thought it was like a seashell, but it's like a giant horn. And it's like, I don't know, it's such fiery passion and unstoppable energy. It's just, so much more spiritual when you know that somebody painted these. And it's not just like computer graphic art that somebody drew and then they made into a computer image, or they just did it out of graphics. This is something that Mary White actually painted. And this, every time I look at this card, this makes me think of, is it mushers? What is it called? There's a name for it in Alaska. I can't think of the name of it right now. But that's what it makes me think of. Like I said, I haven't read the book yet. I'm just going off of what I see in this picture. Like the Alaskan people that do the mushing contests with the dogs. Anyway, this I already know is a depiction of Matt, and they switched the strength and the justice, and they put justice in the 8th position and strength in the 11th again. Okay, which I don't mind that. That doesn't bother me in a deck. Just don't frig with my elements. Don't be taking... Alright, I'm not going to get started, but I just mean I don't like it when they switch the elements with the suits. Like, that drives me nuts. But anyway, this is Matt. That's Egyptian. Okay, Matt means truth or law, and she's the one that weighs the heart of the dead with a feather. Remember that. If the heart is lighter than the feather, you go to heaven with Osiris, I think is the lore. And if it's heavier than the feather, then it gets eaten by the monster Anub or Annis or something. But anyway, she represents the Justice card. Beautiful painting of her. I friggin' love this hermit. When I looked at this hermit, I got chills, by the way. I'm just saying. Look at his face. It's just, oh, I just like this deck, guys. I love the wheel. I don't mind the nudity because it's very paganish to me, which I love. Love. I love this strength card. If you look at this strength card, okay, this lion head is between this guy's legs. This guy is like, strength has an element of sex behind it, and sensuality, and passion, okay? And this guy is like praying with his prayer beads, but it's like he's going down to kneel and he has a lion between his legs. It's like he's, right? It's just so sexy. I love it. So anyway, I love this hanged man. He is getting, enlightenment. He's trying to reach enlightenment. He's seeing things from both angles. If you see right here in his hands, as his hands spread out, you see an eye in each one. So these cards are great, and I don't know if I'm going to show them all because I know you guys have seen these like a billion times since 2012. I like that this shows death and rebirth. The way she painted this. I mean, see, the flowers are growing and reblooming because she fertilized like the earth with her. It's almost like transformation. With her body, we went back into the earth, kind of like recycling. Some people said they didn't like this card, Temperance, because there's not a woman balancing the water. There's instead a tiger stirring it up with his paw. I think that's kind of cool. It's a different aspect. And from what I understood about this deck, it is sort of like a sprinkling of the Rider-Waite-Smith, the Marseille, and the Thoth decks all together. It's kind of like a universal themed painting deck, which I like. I like this mechanical devil, by the way. This card is pretty cool. The Statue of Liberty on fire, just blazing every part of her, like, hot coal at the tips of her hat. It's just destruction. And then a lot of the tarot cards to me represent like clearing, a cleansing. She has the stigmatas on her hands, I noticed, and her one foot. You can see it. You see all this energy, and you see this like colony around her of people that are like looking to her for guidance, maybe spiritual guidance, because the star is also about hope and spiritual guidance. I love this. And I noticed something that I didn't see anybody else mention. In this moon card, there's like a clock behind them. But it looks like he's this raven or this bird, which I haven't looked in the book yet, is coming out of his mouth. Right? So I wonder what that represents. And has the same thing. If you look up real close, you see a bird beak and I think a wing over here, which it's like there's an eagle there, maybe coming out of his nose. I don't know. It's weird for the sun, but it's so different and cool. This card for Judgment is fucking outstanding. And this was another card they changed that which made me get this deck first, because at first I didn't like the black borders. Now I like them because it accentuates the center. But the borderless ones are pretty too, and I will want to have a copy of that. Beautiful, beautiful. If she ever watches my video, I'm sure that she'll realize that people really do appreciate her artwork. This is an awesome depiction of the world. Trying to get this glare out. Sorry, guys. It's like she's everything. She's the stars for the night and the cosmos, the moon, the sun, the land. She's the energy all around us, right? This is really cool. Like an angel, animal, hermaphrodite. And when I saw the lion's faces, like, it's like, to me, this represented somebody who's like, again, like a shapeshifter or half angel, half griffin, because he's got hawk wings and then a lion head and a human hermaphrodite body. The soul down here, because I noticed all the aces have like a soul. It's like the beginning of your soul beginning to grow in that suit, in communication, with the wands, in passion, you know, in movement, with the cups, in emotion and maturing, and with the discs in earth and our job and our everything around us. Again, a hermaphrodite. But this one kind of looks interesting because it has the Minotaur's head and then the labyrinth in the center. Like he's going to dive in and begin his journey. And the wings here of almost like a griffin again, or an eagle. I love, this is probably one of my favorite Two of Wands I've ever seen. Look at the faces in the trees, right? And if these two trees could talk, they'd be like, come on, make a decision now, one way or the other, right? This is the Two of Swords. The Two of Cups. I love these horns. I love these horns, man. You know. This is the card, guys. Somebody was showing the Borderless edition and I saw this card. And this is what lured me in. Don't ask me why. I've never been drawn to the Two of Pentacles or the Two of Discs before, but when somebody was showing this in a borderless version, I said, I gotta check that deck out. What deck is that? And then when I saw it was the Marielle 2nd edition, I was like, now I got to look at the first. But anyway, I love her little horns up here. I love the coins on her eyes and how each one has its own little picture in there, right? And I can't wait to read about this. I love this picture. This is the Three of Wands. Now, again, guys, if you were, say you watch my, walkthrough or review, whatever you want to call it, me showing you of my cards, don't buy this deck with any kind of false hope that you're going to understand this tarot deck in the way of a Rider-Waite kind of system. Don't do that. Lower your expectations if that's what you think, because you're going to get this deck and it's going to be very different. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to read her book. And I'm going to read all of it and take all of it into consideration, but am still going to use my intuition with this deck. Because I really, really think that this is a very intuition-stimulated deck, if that makes sense. Something that's really going to stimulate my intuition. And the messages, I feel like, maybe a little bit clearer because I don't have anything typical in my way. That's all I'm going to say. They are very shiny. I don't mind shiny cards. They don't bother me. Matter of fact, I feel like with some shiny cards that they're easier to shuffle because some of the silky matte ones, they stick. I almost thought that was the Two Towers. I'm going to have to read more about these pictures that I'm looking at here. Four Cups is obviously about, I don't know, this card, I know what the Four Cups is normally about, but in this card maybe she's saying almost consumed by emotion. But I don't know. I didn't read the book yet. The Four of Discs. This card I love too, the Five of Wands. I would say this means charging forth with great force. But I don't know. This one I friggin' love. Five of Swords. That'd be interesting to see what that means. The Five of Cups. I like this guy. He's very, very naturey looking, very natural looking, very hippie-ish looking. It's almost like God looking at what he's created, smiling upon it. I'm noticing the elemental symbols in these cards too, and that a lot of these cards have this like black, it's almost like a little devil tail, or see, it's here too. It's this, maybe it's the snake. The Six of Cups. I love how he's got like these lobster hands, but yet wings. These cards are really wild and cool. This card is, too, one of the ones I like a lot, the Six of Discs. I friggin' love this card, the Seven of Wands. If I looked at it in a Rider-Waite-Smith sense, I'd say, this don't make no sense, but it's not Rider-Waite-Smith. But this image pulled me in as well. This is one of the cards that pulled me in. This card also. Some of these are still sticking. This card especially. looks like black shuck. 7 of discs. Beautiful paintings. I love this card. I love these two lions with like the lamb in the middle. Look at that. See the lamb right there? I love how he has 4 eyes. He's a griffin. He is a griffin. But this image on the front of the box, I could not stop looking, trying to look at this deck just because of that. This one too. Nine of Swords. So most people that would look at this deck, if they tried to compare it to a Rider-Waite, it wouldn't make any sense to them. You know? Ooh, listen to that crunch. That's all that gold gilding sticking my cards together, but I don't care. This one's interesting, 9 of Cups. I know once I shuffle them, which I'm going to do after this video, because I cannot wait to play with these cards. I'm serious, y'all. I can't wait. 9 of Discs. I used to sit in my room as a kid because my parents were pretty strict. And I would draw and color a lot with colored pencils. And I made some stuff that didn't make sense to me until later. And I saved the sketchbooks. I still have them now. 10 of Swords is pretty cool. I like it. I like skulls and reapers and stuff, guys. And this is beautiful artwork. This is... The word unspeakable comes to mind. Like, I mean, I can't think... It's like there's no words that I could express at all that describes or does this deck of cards, this tarot deck, Marielle, that gives it any justice. You have to get the deck. Okay, guys, I'm running way over what I wanted to. I know that you guys have seen this deck. I'm on here 33 minutes already. So I'm going to speed this up a bit. I love the nudity. Doesn't bother me in the least bit. It's very natural feeling. I like this card a lot as well. This is the Page of Cups. There's so much symbology in here. I'm really going to have to sit with these cards. And I want to meditate with them for sure. I love this card for the Knight of Wands. Look at that. He's got like a human hand with the lightning bolt. It's just... God. This one, I mean... She's amazing. Look at this. Look at that. It's friggin' stunning. Anyway, I have got to go spend some time with this deck. But I thought it was only fair. I love this friggin' card too. I'm sorry, guys. They're sticking together on me a little bit here. I love this card. I think that is frickin' awesome. Alright, guys. Look, this is what I got to say about it. If you're going to get the deck, get the deck. I love this card too, by the way. I love... This is a satyr. It's almost like Herne the Hunter, the god, and a satyr combined. I love it. It's probably my favorite card. Anyway, or no, I can't say that because I love a lot of them. If you were thinking about getting this deck, and you were hesitant like I was, get it. Don't be intimidated by it. It is a beautiful deck. I'm going to read her expressions in the book about why she made the cards the way she did. I believe that this is an awesome deck. Don't be intimidated by it. It will softly talk to you. I believe in it. Just holding it in my hands, it's loaded with energy. Don't be a pussy by it. Alright guys, have a great night. If you like my videos, like and subscribe and share. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.